Welcome to this week's TDD Weekly Report for the week ending March 27th. If you're a computer geek or a math geek, you've probably heard of something called a Turing machine. It was a mathematical concept that Alan Turing, the famous mathematician Alan Turing, which was also the father of, he's one of the fathers of computational math, did as kind of a thought experiment. He envisioned a machine that could both read and write characters and also have tape at both ends and to be divided up into little square cells to where you would read and write the characters and then erase them again and then rewrite characters. Based on a simple set of instructions, you could actually compute anything, no matter how complicated it was. You could pretty much compute anything based on this. There have been people that built machines that are based on the Turing machine principle, but this is the first time, and I'll start showing a little excerpt of this, and then I'll give you the website. This guy, Mike Davey is his name, actually built one based on the exact concept of the 1936 Alan Turing paper about the being able to actually use tape to do this and reading and writing these symbols. And what he did was he set up a dry erase marker on a plastic kind of a 35mm film leader, and then he has a little spinning roll of felt which you can actually erase the characters, and then he has a camera that can actually read the characters. Now what's actually happening here is, based on a set of instructions, the tape and the marker and the camera actually are the computer. It's not the instructions. The instructions are the computer program, but what is actually the real computer is the tape itself and the characters put on the tape and changed on the tape. So you can actually consider that part of it is your CPU, your RAM, and even depending on how you write your program, could actually be your storage memory too. So I thought that was pretty cool that this guy developed this. And the website is called turingmachine.com. I'll put a link off to the site of that. And if you get the chance, you have to catch, there's somebody made another type of Turing machine. It's a Lego Turing machine. And when you get to turingmachine.com, off to the right, look at the link for the Lego Turing machine. That is really super cool. As you've noticed, I'm wearing my Aussie hat. The reason why is my co-host, my former co-host that's been with the TDD report for a year and a half and been taking a break just to do occasional reports, he's back this week. That's my friend Ben from Queensland down under. Take it away, Ben.
Thanks, Chuck, and g'day everyone. This week I'm talking cars. And first up, let's go to the township of Benalla in country Victoria, where the local police have just recently taken possession of a brand new $100,000 highway pursuit vehicle. And for its very first job, it was dispatched out to the Hume Highway there was a major accident out there, and you wouldn't believe it, but boom! Fortunately, no police officers were in the car at the time, which was cleaned up by a truck. And next up, everyone should take care when travelling with loose items in their car. If you have an accident or have to brake heavily, loose items can become deadly missiles. And as this person found out, make sure you have everything securely tethered or install a cargo barrier. And finally, the city of Melbourne, which is the capital of Victoria, is hosting a round of the Formula One Championship this weekend. Lewis Hamilton was caught on Friday night by police doing a burnout in a Mercedes sports car which was loaned to him by Mercedes Australia. Now in Australia we call people who do burnouts and street race and act irresponsibly like that, we call them hoons, and we're establishing very tough laws against people like this. So Mr. Hamilton is going to be charged on summons, and the car that he was driving, even though it wasn't his car, it will be impounded for 48 hours because it was his first offence. So we had a incident recently. They've only just re-changed this law because recently we had a doctor who owned a Ferrari, had his car in the shop for a service, and the mechanic took it out for a spin just to test it out, and he got pulled up, and the doctor had his car impounded for 30 days. And the problem with that was that the doctor used that car to make house calls, which doctors still do in Australia. So since that time the law's been repealed, and a first offence is a 48-hour impounding. But they're looking now to also, for repeat offenders, they're looking at not only just impounding their car, but they're going to look like they're going to start crashing the things too, which is about time. Anyway, that's it for me this week. Back to you, Chuck.
And last up we have, this is from Ryder, sent me this link in. Bryan Berg, who holds many Guinness Book of World Records for card stacking, and his website is cardstacker.com. He just ended up finishing another world record for the world's largest house of cards on March 20th. And in an interview I saw about him, he said that his favorite thing to do is not stacking the cards, not breaking the records, but as most kids would know, his favorite thing of doing is knocking down the house of cards. So I'm going to show you an excerpt of him knocking down the house of cards. It seems to me, like looking at the history of what this guy has been doing for long, I'd say the majority of times he's probably breaking his own records is what he is doing, because he just seems to love to do this. But as we go out, I'm going to show you the Venetian in Las Vegas on March 20th, him knocking down the world's largest house of cards.